Hey guys, Dustin Witt.
Hey, this is Scott Snyder.
This is Paul Dini.
And you're listening to Batforce Radio.
And you're listening to Batforce Radio.
You're listening to Batforce Radio.
This is Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and you're listening to Batforce Radio, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Ezra Miller Radio, everyone. The only DC Batman podcast designated to just kind of forget that there's any bad press at all whatsoever. We got something cool coming. We clean slate from here on out. No, joking aside, Batforce Radio, welcome back. We're going to go around real quick. We got Robin DeCross up in Canada.
Hello.
We got Dunk over on the East Coast.
What up?
We got Grumps over on the East Coast.
Yo, yo, yo.
We got Batforce Gramps over in Texas.
Give us a cough, Gramps.
I think we just lost him.
No, I'm just
He's
waiting
saving
for
his
the dramatic
voice.
pause.
That was very dramatic.
Okay. Howdy.
We got Teases over Dirty Jersey. And it has been a wild couple of weeks. We're just going to get right into it. We're going
Can I right off the top question how it seemed like you were casting some sort of aspersions toward Ezra Miller? Where do you get off? What has he done?
We got to remember, because you were great about this last time, Robin. I forget who we were speaking of. Was it Grant Morrison? Ezra Miller, non-binary, and prefers they, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm drinking, so I'm going to forget. So let's just put the disclaimer out there. We're hip. We're with it. Okay? We're going to do our best to keep up. But fucking ATs, look at that goddamn hoodie. Jesus Christ, I just saw that. What the fuck?
Oh, wow.
God damn.
Nice.
Anyways, as we were saying. Yeah, it's been a wild couple of weeks. We'll go around and we'll talk about what's going on. But Super Bowl weekend is over. We just had the first official teaser of the Flash trailer with Ezra Miller starring Michael Keaton, Ezra Miller.
And Ezra Miller.
Ezra Miller. A lot of bad press because of some stuff that he was involved in leading up to the movie. And I think everyone was like, how is this movie going to come out? What are they going to do? How is Warner Bros. Going to do this? And I don't know about you guys, but after this trailer, I didn't hear anything about the Flash or Ezra Miller. It was all about Keaton and Affleck. So we'll just, we'll go around. Where were you guys? What were you doing? What was the situation? How did it come up? Where did you see it?
What was the down and distance?
I thought
I was at the comic shop all day yesterday when the trailer came out, and I didn't watch it until today.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Jesus Christ.
Scandalous.
So did you see all the spoilers popping up on the internet?
I saw all the things everyone was saying, the pictures. The main thing, having not seen the trailer, all I was seeing were those shots of like what we've got in the background right now, all Keaton's new suits that in this universe he has had over the years, and I saw the shots of Affleck on the bike, which does that look a bit like Sean Murphy's White Knight bike, kind of a bit?
Good amount.
With like that dual front wheel.
I'd say so.
Definitely a hybrid for sure.
Yeah.
Little bit of maybe Dark Knight Rises, but definitely leaning more into the Murphyverse.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people speculating from the one shot. Like there's another shot where it shows him from either above or from behind driving on it. And it looked like a lot of people were speculating that maybe that was Christian Bale, a shot of him. But I think it was just Affleck.
There was the main trailer dropped like before the game even had kickoff, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But did you guys know that was going to happen?
No, I expected to see it during the game or whatever.
Yep.
And then I don't know, it flashed up on. I saw DC posted it on Instagram. I was like, wait, isn't it supposed to be? All right, whatever. Let me watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, full was it? It was over 3 minutes, full 3 minute trailer but before the game even started, that took
Yeah.
me by surprise because I had heard that it was going to be a spot during the game, like around the first quarter, and then they dropped a TV spot during the first quarter, like another 50-second spot. So we got 3 minutes and then another 50 seconds, some of which on that 50-second spot had some alternative footage, which was very famously that armory right there. And then there was I think this money shot was from that 50.
Yeah.
Jeez, look at his face right there. He's just
Oh,
he's
That's what everyone watching was doing.
yeah. Both spots had the close up of this is crazy, just a close up of Keaton in the suit. The longer one had a little bit more of Ben as Bruce Wayne, as well as Batman. I think this was the 50-second spot with the Burton Batcave, with a covering over the Batmobile. And then as you go through, both spots kind of had this money shot right here.
look at that flex.
For those listening, just listening, we're on YouTube and you can see the footages, the images that we're talking about right now, just in case. This is wild. Michael Shannon back as Zod.
Yeah,
Just-
that I didn't know.
I had heard this and I was like, how much is that like actually happening versus, you know, just the my fellow toxic Snyder fan bros hopefully wishing, but there it is. This is cool. The Batfleck and then we saw behind the scenes shots of this with him filming like some scenes where he's on that bike, and this is much better view of it's a blue and gray suit that he's wearing. This was wild. A nice clean shot of Keaton in the suit out in the daylight amongst the contrast of snow, so you can kind of look like what exactly that looked like. What else was some nice stuff here?
And
This was
that's the
cool.
thing that they can do now that they couldn't back in '89. They couldn't show the old suit in the daylight.
Yeah,
It just didn't look good enough up close. But now they have the technology.
it would melt in the sun too if we did that.
Yeah.
This was a shot that was pretty wild. Supergirl flying amongst the old Batwing, or the new Batplane / Batwing. I wish I had the one where Keaton's holding the Batarang, but here's another one where they're like Marty McFly, Doc McBrown trying to catch the lightning. This is crazy. I think this was the craziest thing. Like,
Yeah.
this was the craziest thing. What did you when you guys saw this spot? What did you think when you saw this specific scene, the one with the armory?
I thought it was all the same suit. I mean, at
what
first,
I thought.
right? Like,
Yeah, it was so quick. You think it's all the same suit, and then
Yeah.
you look at the picture, and it's like, how much of this are we going to see? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think my first take is you just see that lining of that cowl, second one into the left, and the light bulbs go off, and you think of one thing. You think of that Kenner style action figure that you had growing up, because it was that cowl was so defined in the toys that you're like, shit, they're doing homages to these toys after based on the older movies.
yeah.
It's kind of cool that they kind of reprised that and brought it back into the universe.
Mm.
I just
Far-
kept thinking, God, that's going to be a lot of Mezcos.
or a lot of McFarlane's too. I'm sure McFarlane's looking at his
Yeah.
lips right
Hot
now.
Toys. I imagine they do like Hot Toys of each single one of these, or a Prime one of each single one. But to break it down a little bit, once people started getting closer looks on the far left, it was confirmed by one of the designers on Twitter that is the 66 emblem on the far left suit, and he wanted to put some of the Golden Age ears up on the left on that cowl. He said those are Golden Age ear cowls. The blue and the gray, he said that was specifically something he wanted to do for the Keaton suit to kind of give the homage to the comics as well. The Neil Adams and that kind of suit. You could see the ridged brow on the cowl as well. Some people have said that, it looks like he's got white eyes. Kind of really hard to tell if that's the case. It could just be like the bridged brow that's making that, and then you got the OG, the '89 suit, and then on the right flank you have the return suit And I mean, what is that? Is that a deep dive suit with the breathing mask, and it looks like an armored top chest piece? Like that just looks
I think
like a
it looks
deep
like a Kingdom Come, maybe.
That's what I was gonna say.
Kingdom Come.
That was what I thought the first time I saw people posting this screenshot from the trailer.
And then the one on the right, to the right of that, it's got the goggles on the top. It looks like, is that, what do you guys say? Is that a collar, or is that a hood? What is
I
that?
thought yeah, like a hood or something.
Looks like a hood. People were saying it's Gotham by Gaslight. It's Gotham by Gaslight. It's Gotham. I was like, "Hey, Gotham by Gaslight didn't have those goggles. Those were like the JLA files / Nightmare goggles. The Gotham by Gaslight had the circular goggles, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's definitely a hybrid, but it's definitely like a mix of both.
Yeah. Either way, it looks so fucking sick. Regardless, like it's just insane. And then you got the suit that he's probably going to be rocking in the movie right there in front and center. And as these things go, who knows if he's going to be wearing these? Who knows if there'll be flashback scenes? Who knows if he's not wearing them at all? Just the fact that they're in the armory kind of shows that this guy's had a history of multiple suits. Things have been going on since Batman Returns. It's just kind of fun to see that. And then in the back, you got the grapnel guns and the belts and all that. Just an insane.
That's one thing that I noticed. First, when I saw this image, the first one on the left looks like he's got some shoulder straps with two
guns under the arms.
God,
I was thinking I was thinking like year 2 kind of thing with the holster.
With the holy shiitake mushrooms. That's a legitimate first realization that, oh God, those are guns.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Big nipples.
The one on the far left you're talking
Nipple
about.
guns.
Far left, yeah, the 66 something. Someone said there was nipples on one of these, or was that a joke?
I just said that.
I meant before, like they were saying there was a difference.
Oh, the one on the far right with the goggles kind of looks like he got a little areola.
Well, I did hear rumors that it's expected that another Batman shows up in the movie too, and I guess the leading option is Clooney.
Man,
really?
So let's talk about that.
No, but if we were going to get to a point where we're just going to willy-nilly bring back characters from previous iterations, why didn't they do this when we could have had Richard Pryor come back in the movies from the old Superman? That's who I want to see come back.
Quest for Peace?
Two or three? Was it 4? Maybe it was that late.
One of those. Speaking of that, Robin, that was something that leaked from a leaker, or what's her name, Grace Randolph, who's kind of she's been hit or miss. She's also been has gotten some inside scoops, but she's also kind of been way off on a lot of things. But that's something that she said is that, per her sources, is that the end credit scene cut Supergirl. Oh, someone's getting rid of a body. Cut Supergirl, cut Keaton out of the end scene to make way for the DCU, which apparently is, from what she says, that's going to be like the bridge to the new Batman. But then, what's his name? Peter Saffran and James Gunn have said that Batman's supposed to be a younger one than Affleck or whomever. So it's just weird. I don't know. So I heard someone else say it would make sense that if Keaton and Affleck are in this movie, those are the two Batmen that have killed or have not stopped people from dying. So it would make sense that maybe if Flash is trying to correct things, that the Batman that would come back would be Christian Bale. That would be the one that would come back. Which
Christian Bale killed a bunch of fucking people too.
He on purpose, I would say, meticulously calibrated those plans as well. And I'm glad that you said so, Robin, because I think that's something that's been swept under the rug. But did anybody go into this not hyped, worried, concerned, not giving a shit? Anybody on the fence about it starting off? Gramps.
Hey.
Let's hear it. What was it that you were just like, I don't know about this?
Okay, I'll try to do this without coughing. And I don't, me. Last time we even got Affleck announced, I was like, I don't want Batman. But I really hope that there are certain parts of this trailer that, you know, how sometimes they show stuff in trailers that isn't actually in the movie. And I want Keaton back, but I hope he doesn't do that campy "I'm Batman" thing. I want him to come back with like a badass "I'm Batman."
Did you not see the trailer?
I did. He's just kind of like,
Okay.
I'm Batman. Maybe it's because I just watched Birdman before that, but I was just like, I was hoping.
God.
I hope that scene is cut and it's an actual 89-esque mood instead of that. But that's just kind of my one gripe. I wasn't expecting Supergirl in this. That was kind of a cool surprise. I wasn't expecting Zod. That was cool.
Zod was the biggest surprise.
If we have Zod, that means we're going to have, what's her name?
Feora. I couldn't tell if Keaton or Flash, one of them is punching the shit out of one of them. I'm not sure if that was Zod or Feora. But
I thought Feora needed a little bit more screen time in Man of Steel, so that'd be cool to see her good back.
I hope they do the spiked hair, the slick back spikes, more so than the front. That was weird. Like halfway through the movie, her hair switches from like slicked back spike to like lowered front, and she looked more badass with like the spiked up hair.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited to see Keaton back. I mean, it's almost like I felt like I was watching a trailer almost for Back to the Future 2. And I was like, well, they kind of stole a lot of the plot. I mean, I get it. They're kind of, homaging Flashpoint. But I don't know. I'm interested. I will say this. There's all these people that are, planning on boycotting it and not going to see it in theaters because they don't want, they're just boycotting Ezra Miller and all that stuff. And that's fine. But I offer you a workaround. What I'm thinking about doing, I'll buy a ticket to another movie at approximately the same time, go to the bathroom, and then just kind of sneak in the theater.
So that's what you did for the Batman?
That way they're not getting my money, but I'm going to see it.
It intrigued you enough to do that. That impresses me.
Well, you got to see Keaton's return on the big screen, right?
That's like here's my thing is I feel like we're being groomed. I feel like
again.
Yeah, like I just feel like I feel like it's personally them is Warner Brothers grooming me with Keaton and then also with Affleck because he said he wasn't going to come back. He said he was done. He did the whole skit with Jimmy Kimmel where he put his Batman jersey up in the rafters like he was done. And he's back as fucking Batman in the suit as Bruce Wayne. So it's like all the screenshots I got, I don't think there's any fucking Flash in any of these. I don't think there's one. There's Supergirl and there's like no Flash. So
it's not a Flash movie. No one gives a fuck about it.
Well, here he is. There. That's the one that we got. But
that was just Marty McFly Flash.
Marty McFlash.
People have been asking me like in on the internet and then like in my real life, aren't you excited? I'm like, I'm just here for the toys. I'm just here for the toys.
I feel like we knew about this movie too long. It had fallen off my radar. It feels like years ago that we saw those first images and first little video clips. Like wasn't it years ago that we were picking apart the things like, look at that scene where they get out of the cab. They're one is on one side of it, the other's on the other side, and it looked like it
during
looked
COVID.
like the Flash of Two Worlds thing, the comic that they were divided by the car instead of the wall, and even the number on top of the cab was the issue number. And it feels like years ago we were already dissecting the details of this movie.
There's been so many conspiracies since then. That's why we lost this one.
Yeah, there was also like
true.
Scenes of, first scenes of Keaton in the suit. That was probably 2 years ago, and he was supposed to appear first in the Batgirl movie as well, right? So this was kind of like his kind of second go in theory on when we were supposed to see him. But since obviously the Batgirl movie has been canceled, this is the first time we're seeing him, and it's also been leaked. Like what was it, 1 or 2 Halloweens ago? There were remember like people were posting pictures of like kids' costumes in Walmart of this version of Batman.
Oh yeah.
So they were,
Halloween.
this is
We got a
definitely
Christmas
2.5
ornament.
years, 3 years in the making.
Christmas ornament.
We got
Yeah,
the Christmas ornament.
It was COVID. It was COVID when they did DC. What was that thing called? DC Fandom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. And they released a little an unfinished snippet or whatever they called it during that was during COVID. That's insane. Yeah. It's also I was also I don't know about you guys. I just feel like this movie has been plagued by such bad press for so long. With all the stuff that happened it's also funny, I externalized it. So how many things Ezra Miller has been gotten into and just how much has changed around this movie with like things getting cut, an entire background movie getting deleted, just the mergers and buyouts and Snyder stuff and all this. It just seemed like part of me was like, this movie's never going to happen. How are they going to make this fucking work?
Yeah, because when it got to the point that they canceled the Batgirl movie, and then we saw that Ben was shooting scenes for Aquaman, and then those got axed, so apparently we're not seeing those. And then we had Henry Cavill's back, and then 2 days later, no, he isn't. So just so many things have happened.
Although
it felt like this wasn't going to come out
in the cast. So
Cavill?
far. Cavill, Godot, who else is in there? Ray Fisher
in this movie.
That's what I've seen so far. I don't know if it's actually true, but that's who I've seen listed on the IMDb for the cast. So I think it's interesting that we're actually getting a live action version of that Flashpoint type event that actually created the new 52 and allowed DC to come through with new versions and new writers and new creative teams. We're actually getting a live action version of that, and that's one reason why this movie wasn't canceled like Batgirl and other projects.
And that's 4 months away. It's like that's it. They have a release date. It was June 16th. That's 4 months away. There's nothing else. You can't mess it up now. That's it. It's done. It's going to come out, and I don't know. On my end, I'm pumped. I get excited with new movies all the time, but
I just popped over to check IMDb. I don't know if they've updated it, Gramps, but I don't see them listed on here anymore. Maybe they just had like possible cast in place until the trailer came out or something. I don't know. Maybe
it was oops, we didn't mean to do that. And
how dare you fact check me?
No, it was more to see who else might be in there. But I'd forgotten about this. The recasting of Barry's father. Now we got
that's right.
Peter from Office Space. Hey, Peter, man.
Dude. Yeah, what was that all about? Why'd they do that?
I assume that what Billy Crudup was just not probably not available to do it.
Bummer, man.
Or maybe Ezra tried to abduct him and he didn't want to be a part of it anymore.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's wild. It's I guess to your point, Gramps, it is nice to have a movie that the whole point is to like erase timelines and get started over. You can't really can't screw anything up however it ends. So
but also, I just see someone. Tamura Morrison is still credited in here. He's Arthur Curry's father in Aquaman. He's still
interesting. All right, and he could be that, or he could be, as timelines have been messed with, he could be a different version of that character.
Feora is in the cast list here.
There you go. Interesting. I also saw. I don't know if you guys are interested, Grumps. You probably are. Someone DM'd me a spoiler script leak, like a rundown of what happens in the movie, and this was from 8 months ago. That script leak was from 8 months ago, and everything that was in the trailer was in the script leak. So it sounds like that's a legitimate script leak that is out there, and there's things in the trailer that we haven't even talked about yet, where you're like, who is that? What is that? What are they doing? And it was in the script leaked 8 months ago. That answers who that is. So, and then there's
I
another.
want to read it.
Yeah, I knew you would. Yeah, whore.
I wanted to talk more about the suits because I was looking at a better picture of the suits.
Email me the one that you have, and then I can put that one up.
I just texted to you.
Yeah.
You want me to email it?
Yeah, if you can. Well, if you can't, you're on your phone. Let me do it. I can do it.
No, I could do it too.
Yeah, email me that, and I'll throw it up right now. But
'Cause,
what were you saying about the suits, Grumps?
Nah, I was just looking at them up close from left to right, and I'm like,
getting a hard on.
The one is a year one. I mean, the first one on the left is year one. The second one is blue. It's like a version of the Keaton cowl, but it's blue. The gloves are blue. Then there's the 89. Then there's the returns. Then there's some, looks like, I mean, we commented most of this stuff, the underwater suit. And then the last one looks to be like, I don't know, I was thinking maybe that's a version of the armored suit, in this universe.
Yeah.
Or the Nightmare version.
Nightmare Keaton.
Because it looks more like a helmet than a cowl when you enlarge the picture.
It's sick, and
it would be cool if it is a Keaton Nightmare version, but I don't think that could have happened yet at that point in time, right? Because that's
considering
like
the story,
in the future thing.
There's no Superman for him to have to do that with.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no end of the world scenario with Darkseid and all that. And then I think in the trailer he says, I created a world with no metahumans, and it's just Keaton just doing Gotham shit,
But there's the one thing where he's like
Keaton
it's not
says
Clark.
that, or
Barry Miller says in the trailer, I created a world with no metahumans.
But there's like there is Superman because he says that's not Clark.
Well, he means it's not Clark. So if in Flashpoint, Barry goes and tries to find, he's like, Superman's here. We got to find Superman. He landed however long ago in this place, and they go and they try to find Superman, but it's not. It's a version of Superman, but it's like he hasn't been exposed to the sun, so he's all skinny and scraggly.
It's Project Superman is what they call it.
And in this version. I think that's a direct shot to feminism. I don't like it that they make it a woman. Like, all of a sudden it's because she's a lady that she can't be as strong as Superman. That's just me. I'm not saying anything besides that. That's all I'm saying. But interesting too. Like, if they're correct me if I'm wrong, guys. This Supergirl has been cut out. She's no longer going to be Supergirl in any future DCU plans. So this was kind of like this movie. It's funny. They called the Snyder Cut a little cul-de-sac. This movie's kind of a cul-de-sac in itself as well. Like, I don't think many of the characters that we expected to have continue on after this are going to. It's kind of like your one last one shot for fans. Again, we're being groomed, gentlemen. We're being groomed. Is anybody like super fucking pumped about some of this shit?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see, like, I know we got a lot of, like, of course, the main focus for us, especially, is like all the Batman stuff that we got. But I want to know how the two berries thing works out.
My two berries.
We're berries. I don't know. I just we got some clips of things he says and things that's going on. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Grumps, you did not like the this version of, was it just the suit, or do you not like this Barry Allen either?
I just can't get into this Barry Allen, the suit. I don't like the Supergirl. Like, I prefer the the blonde hair, blue-eyed, Nazi-looking.
Fucking racist. You racist.
Barry Allen and Supergirl. No, but I mean, the Flash aside, if it was just the Flash, I probably wouldn't even watch this. But there's two fucking Batmans in this movie. Like, I'm all about it, dude. I'm all about it.
You got to give it to Warner Brothers. They found a way to get people who were never going to watch this fucking movie to watch this movie.
Yeah.
It's genius, and I hate it. It's so funny.
I wonder how much they had to pay Keaton.
It's got to have been a pretty penny, I would think. You know, because he even up until recently, when he was doing all the promo for the Oscar stuff, he was getting Oscar buzz on. They asked him like, "Would you ever be Batman again?" He goes, "If Tim Burton directed, yes, I would."
Right.
And somehow they got him with that.
They fooled him.
They probably promised him the toy royalties.
I mean, they got him back for 2 movies, right? Like,
and then they screwed him and canceled him.
Do you guys think that Batgirl was canned because it set up too much for like that universe that was no longer going to be moved forward with, or it just sucked that bad?
I don't know. Saffran said that when he and James Gunn came on, they watched it, I guess, and Saffran said that that movie being shelved was the right call because it would have hurt DC. And I don't. Did you guys see that that clip? There's like someone's cell phone footage or something. They're like on set. They're not like across the street. They're like there, and so they're recording. You see her kind of run by, and then there's this girl that is between the person recording and where they're actually shooting the scene, and after. So Batgirl runs by, and then the girl that is standing in front of the camera turns away, inadvertently facing the camera, and you just see her kind of do like an eye roll, kind of like a, oh, that was rough.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
Well, because it was like such an awkward run.
It was such an awkward run. It was like
remember the Friends
Flash
episode?
run.
Remember the Friends episode where Phoebe was jogging, and she it was kind of like one of those runs.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of that.
I
probably
never
difficult
heard
to
of
run
that.
in those suits.
You
What's
guys
that?
gotta send me that clip. I never heard of this.
Oh.
It's on. I saw that one. It was like, oh my god, that looks pretty bad. But then they also showed that scene where she jumps from the top of a building and she crashes through glass and she does like a somersault flip as things are blowing up behind her, and that looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we're about at the mark where we wanted to switch over. Anybody have any? Let's talk about this. Let's go. Let's do this. Robin, prior to this trailer, where was your hype level, and where is it now?
Prior to this trailer, I was gonna make this a Last of Us podcast, but at this point, yeah, I'll stay on board with this one now. I'm interested. You throw 2 Batmans in a movie, and Flashpoint is not something that I ever thought we would get to see on film, and this will be a version of that. So, I'm in.
Dunk, what was your hype level before this and then after the trailer?
I was hyped during the pandemic for this damn shit. We finally got a trailer that everyone else is excited about, and I'm like, all right, thanks a lot, guys. Everyone else is finally jumping in this fucking bandwagon. Let's go. We got 4 months. I just want to fast forward 4 months, watch this movie, and then go to San Diego Comic-Con. That's it.
There you go. That's a good one. Grumps.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like a 8 or a 9 for just the 2 Batman thing. I mean, it's huge. Obviously, like, Keaton is not my favorite Batman, but I still like him as Batman, whatever. And I'm excited for him to come back. And we didn't even talk about the fucking. I don't know if one of you guys mentioned it, the blue and gray suit with Affleck. I mean. That's fucking huge. Yeah, no, I think somebody said it earlier. I was at a solid 8 for this. I could do without all the Flash shit though. And Supergirl is like shoehorned into this thing. Zod, I'm excited for Zod because I thought Michael Shannon was great. And now you guys are saying there might be a 3rd Batman in this. That would be wild. They should have the TV Flash in it, for a scene like Ezra Miller showed up on the TV show.
That was wild. That was, to be honest, that's still fucking wild. They did that.
Yeah. What if that
the timing actually
worked? The big secret.
The timing works out decently because that show is into its last season now.
Yeah. So
then reboot
the movie could end all the Flashes.
Yeah.
It's funny too because remember how like people would suggest that and you'd be like, no, they can't do that. They'll never do that. And literally, like the rule book is thrown out the window now. Ever since like Snyder cut, Zaddy just changed the game. Thank you guys for acknowledging, in that sense. But Gramps, hype level before the trailer and then after.
I just hope I'm alive by then. I think it's really awesome that we're doing a Valentine's Day episode. I love you guys. I love everybody.
Love you too, Gramps.
Good thing we didn't plan to do this tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's interesting that we're getting a Flashpoint theme-based live-action movie because, like Robin said, wasn't something I ever expected to see. I'm still going to buy a ticket for another movie, but I'm going to sneak in.
Tease us. Hype level before, hype level now.
I'd probably say it was probably like a 5 or a 6 because I think this movie was just forgotten. We got word that this was completed probably almost a year ago, or even when Ezra Miller was getting into all these shenanigans, there was word that the movie was pretty much wrapped up, and we heard about Keaton, but we didn't really know how much involvement there was going to be. So this kind of trailer kind of really hyped everyone up, and they kind of revealed a lot more, just enough for us to really kind of immediately talk about it. So I think they got the job done. Yeah, I mean, we want to see more Keaton. We never thought that in 35 years that we'd ever see him on screen in any shape, way, or form. So we were watching the Super Bowl yesterday, and my wife, her jaw dropped. She's like, holy shit. Like, that got me more hyped, because she's kind of null to Batman stuff because, we talk about it nonstop. But this made her really kind of just pumped as well. So, like Grum said, I like the whole seeing Zod on the big screen again after all these years. To me, the whole idea of Flashpoint is very fitting for where the DC universe is right now. They're just at such a big standstill, and they need this whole new jolt and this whole new opportunity for new movies to come out. So if they want to kind of mirror what they did in like 2010 with the comics, they're kind of revisiting that whole ideology again. So to me, that is very fitting and it makes sense. And I think hopefully they're showing, they didn't show all their cards. Like, that'd be awesome if they did some type of nod to Thomas Wayne, if they really want to follow the Flashpoint, but I think they're going to show a lot more. So I'm excited for it. And like we said, it's only a few months away. So
see, that's my problem. I don't get, until you guys said it, I didn't even think about the Flashpoint then. I'm like, you could have, I don't know, you could have did a whole Infinity War Endgame type deal with Flashpoint.
They could have made this another Justice League movie, and we to me that would have really just moved forward and created
I completely forgot about.
Yeah, I think if they weren't using this to,
reset,
create a grave for the previous universe, that they might do a bigger thing with it. But yeah, like they're using this as like a changing of the guard kind of thing.
Well, now they are, right? Because this wasn't the intention with the previous regime, right?
This was okay. Think about this, guys, because this was a rumor, okay? But considering the moves now, the rumor was this movie was supposed to set up Supergirl replacing Cavill, Batgirl replacing Affleck, and then possibly the rest of the Justice League, and that would be the new Justice League, is a Supergirl, Batgirl-led Justice League. And now, since, like you said, Grumps, that regime changed again, they've deleted that plan, which included the end of the movie where Keaton, I bet you Batgirl was introduced at the end of this one, and then Keaton hands the baton, and that turns into the new Justice League. And remember, that was on the internet, and everyone was like, there's no way they're really doing that. That would be crazy. That's a rumor. But based on what they've said now, that sounds like that's what happened. And
that's why they squashed it.
Yeah, that's why this is no, we're not doing that anymore. We're cutting that scene. We're going to add a different scene at the end where Christian Bale comes back, and then moving on from that. But it's wild. It's just crazy. It just feels like there's no more rules anymore. There's no barriers or boundaries as to what can happen, and it just makes you feel just I'm in shock. I still shock. I think you asked me what do you my hype level before? I was in shock. I was in honest shock that Keaton was coming back. I don't know if I could fully appreciate the hype because of that, and then because of what you guys were talking about, all the things happening with the pandemic, how much things have changed in the background. Batgirl getting deleted. I swear to God, I'm like, this movie's fucking next. There's like they deleted a movie that had Keaton in it. There's no way this movie's safe. So the fact that this movie's coming out is still shocking to me. I don't know how to feel about it. As far as part of me is I got absolute fucking wood from the Batman Armory. I can't believe this. Like, this is crazy to see. Like, they're putting this in a movie.
But the one thing I was curious about, just from the past, knowing how many times this has happened, it's possible that this shot isn't even actually in the movie.
You gotta go and say it. Oh,
I'm not speaking it into existence, but we all know that's happened before.
How people would fucking riot, dude. You can't do that. Oh my God. But yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Like, any one of these little things from the fucking trailer could be gone. Like, they did that with Rogue One. Like, they had a whole storyline. They had a whole, like, first teaser, second trailer, and then they completely redid it because they got Ron Howard to come back and change things. And those trailers don't even match up anymore. So you're right.
Speaking of things getting moved from trailers, isn't like Congress working on something where like if you change it in a trailer, if you put it on a trailer, it has to be part of the movie?
Thank God our taxes are going to good shit, huh?
Remember the lawsuits
the
when
shit.
Suicide Squad came out? Because people were saying this is not the movie that I bought a ticket for.
Yeah. Or even like even when Justice League came out, the
Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut. Like a bunch of stuff got cut out, but it wasn't part of the trailer. Everyone lost their shit. That's like false advertising.
I don't know if necessarily about that. I think it'd be kind of a smart move. Kind of, they don't want to spoil too much, but they want to get you hyped and excited.
But there's a difference between getting people hyped and excited and getting them hyped and excited with something that showing them things that aren't actually in the movie. That's a little too much.
Happens all the time on like when I'm like trying to talk to a nice lady and she sends me a picture or two, and then I meet him in person, and he's a wonderful gentleman, but he's not what I expected. And I guess it's shame on me, but anyways.
Plus side was he had bigger boobs than in the pictures, but
So hold on, Tom, how did you feel about Keaton delivering the line?
So I agree with Gramps. I think there is I felt there was a certain amount of cheese that they are putting in this movie, and there's part of the Burton universe that had that, so a little bit is kind of like okay. And then also, like you said, Grumps, that's kind of this Barry Allen is silly. This Barry Allen is like a klutz. He's goofy, and he's the one that's usually giving the comedic relief. So I think I'm okay with little cheese. The rumor is the rumor is that's not the end of it. There's going to be a little bit more, and it's tough, man. Like, I'm trying not to be an old man about it. You want to keep the things.
Well, how did you feel about the music then? When you heard the music, you didn't know the music was going to be.
No, I did not expect that at all. And it got me hard, dude. What am I telling you? I'm telling you, it didn't. I'm gonna be honest with you. It made me hard. The armory shot, the music, seeing Keaton, even though it's fucking cheesy. Yeah, I'm Batman. Like it's just. I'm being groomed, guys.
If Keaton and Affleck are on the same screen, Tom's fucking head is gonna explode.
I haven't even thought of that, dude. I haven't even thought.
If that doesn't happen, I'm gonna be pissed. Like it could happen for a second, but I'll be fine. But it's gotta happen.
It's very possible.
I feel like it's uncharted territory. I just can't believe. Like, it just feels like uncharted territory. I don't know how to feel about it yet. I will tell you this, though. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to have to start saving up right now for the figures, the statues, the prints, all the shit that's going to come. Because, dude, imagine you do Hot Toys of all these. What am I going to do?
What if that is the sideshow?
Like, that's a Batcave maquette?
Yeah.
The $4,000 armor.
Yeah, $4,000.
Oh, that's it, dude.
$1,500 shipping.
I'm done. Like, I have to get another job. I gotta. What am I gonna do?
Again.
I've got the sugar mama, and you can move in with me.
There you go. Yeah, I gotta reopen my OnlyFans. Yeah.
That's it.
All right. You got lower taxes in Texas, right? So that'll help you too.
Moving on. We said 30 minutes. We're at 45 minutes.
Nice.
Okay. switching gears over to the gentleman who either people are like really interested in what he's gonna do. You're a Snyder Toxic Snyder fanboy like myself, who is actively sending him death threats. Wherever you lie, the big changes are coming. Big fucking changes are coming. Get ready for it regardless. You know they're coming. So a little after, I want to say late January, there was just this like, oh, by the way, James Gunn is gonna meet with the press tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. And the following day, there's going to be an official press release about the future of the DCU. And it happened just the way they said it would. This photo leaked eventually, and everything in this photo. Robin, you wanna go over that little thing you see there? Can you describe what we're looking at?
Yeah, so we've got the slate of the DCU Chapter 1 that begins with, I think the first step is Superman Legacy, right? That's the plan. Now, what we can't see behind this jerk-off's head on the left side there is Creature Commandos. And then we've got Amanda Waller. It's still Viola Davis, apparently, keeping that role.
The bottom is TV shows, though, correct?
Yeah, but so it's all it's all linked.
Timeline, yeah.
It's all one world. So all of the things now. So all of the movies, the shows, the live action shows, the animated shows, they're all going to be pushing along the same universe. We've got The Authority coming up. Then we've got The Brave and the Bold, which I'm surprised that they're using the old title from the comics, Brave and the Bold. I don't know how many people will be familiar with that, how much name recognition, but we know that is where the new Batman / Bruce Wayne is being introduced, and they are bringing in Robin for that movie. And they have made it clear that their choice of Robin is Damian Wayne. We've got Booster Gold, Lanterns. I believe, I can't see it all the way there, it's kind of darkened, but I believe it is Lanterns plural, and that is going to give us Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, based on the Tom King comic miniseries. Paradise Lost, and then Swamp Thing is supposed to be the last part of Chapter 1.
Wow.
And is apparently very much a horror movie, a lot darker than the rest of the projects preceding it.
I don't think they mentioned it, but what do you guys think if this all happens? What do you think the year is that Swamp Thing comes out? It's 2023 right now.
2035.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's rough.
I think, Tom, that's a good question, because I think that's why Henry Cavill is no longer Superman.
Yeah,
he's 40 now.
Because if you think, we're 2023 right now. If you say it's at best 2024 before we get Superman Legacy, and then if it's one a year for the movies after it, then that's at the earliest Swamp Thing would be out is 2028 at the absolute earliest.
Yeah, because isn't 2024 for Superman like ambitious?
Yeah, like that's like the absolute fastest I think we could see it would be like end of 2024, but it's probably more like 2025.
Which
like they would have to be filming it now.
Yeah, or at least close to it. They would have to have their cast choices already done.
Yeah, that's why when he's throwing out these dates, I'm like, isn't that next year?
And then again, like anything could happen between now and then. As movies, like they constantly get pushed back for multiple reasons. Like new writer, they couldn't get the, like Ezra Miller, like put another gun to a baby's head, like whatever.
Yeah, we're getting aliens now. So.
But it does also depend. This is now. These two guys are running the whole thing. There's no one above them that's going to be pulling any strings, making any changes. So we're now not going to have a situation where we see set photos of something leaking out, and then close to a year later, we hear that they're doing reshoots because the studio has mandated some changes. Like this is all, once they plot out what they're shooting, that's what they're shooting, and it's going to be done.
That's a really good point in that They have already had the meetings behind the scenes where the main story and the thread of each of these films has already been discussed and approved. So no one's going to be surprised about anything. And like you said, Robin, like there's no fucking rearranging of directors, there's no cutting and adding and all that bullshit. You're right. So it might be a much more streamlined situation.
Do you guys feel that these filmmakers or studios for the DC, like they make this shit harder or more convoluted than it has to be? That's the way
the
I feel.
studio, the studio.
Yeah, like I just I get that
Absolutely.
you want a cohesive unit. I get that, but I feel
I've
like
always
they're stronger with the individual movies, and
Yeah.
if they just did little cameos and little threads instead of big, I don't know.
Yeah. Think of like unanimously, regardless of what you like, regardless of the Snyder cut, the Snyder cults, regardless of all that shit. Like let's pretend I hate the Batman. Don't have to pretend that hard. Let's just say, but the Batman, you cannot argue against the fact that that was beloved by like unanimously, right, across the board.
Yeah.
That was its own little universe.
It was a
Didn't have to fucking
masterpiece.
didn't have to worry about anything. Same with what's it called, Joker. You could say you hated it, but still within its own little universe, didn't have to worry about anything else. And I can't think of many of the other recent films that have come out that no, you can argue against it, but at the end of the day, they broke the fucking bank, and they got a lot of critics that said that they were good, right?
Well, the thing with like Joker and the Batman, those are, in my opinion, my humble opinion, steered towards a certain audience. They're like art films, right? What they're doing here is aimed towards just the general audience.
Fucking
This
casuals.
The cash, the kids, and that's what it is. Except for Swamp Thing, and I'm glad that they're actually going to make that a horror. I'm really looking forward to Waller.
Horror.
Horror.
Oh, okay.
Sound like Tony Soprano.
Horror.
Do we know which one of these are going to be animated?
I don't think any of them.
Booster Gold going to be animated?
No, I think that's going to be a real one. I think these are all real.
Yeah, I think that's all live action stuff as far as I understood.
The animated stuff, that's a whole other division with, what's his name? Bruce Timm and that stuff.
Well, because they talked about how they want all of this cohesive. They even want the live action actors to do the voices in animated so that it's all cohesive.
They said that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just wondering.
I feel like that's asking a lot.
Yeah, that is asking a lot.
You imagine, the getting everybody on the same time frame, and it's a lot.
Yeah, I wonder how Sean Gunn has worked his schedule. Because he's in everything that James Gunn has done.
Or his wife is also in Peacemaker, and they're pepper her into a couple of things.
Is that part of this bullshit or not? It doesn't look like it, right?
Waller, I guarantee you.
Waller's
you're right,
and all that.
Right.
Can we say, like, whether you liked the Suicide Squad or not, whether you liked Peacemaker or not, like, it's kind of makes sense to just keep Viola Davis. Like, she's been kind of fucking great, right?
Dude,
Thank you.
It'd be great,
no,
like in every
she's
universe,
gotta-
she just sucked. Like every universe, everyone hates her anyway, so it's just who she is.
It's just she's good at it.
But the only difference is, like, she eats peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in one, but she's allergic to peanut butter in the other.
Yeah.
It's like she's still that bitch.
It's like that's the one right thing in the midst of all this shit. Like that's the one thing I think everybody agrees on. Viola Davis.
She is fucking Amanda Waller. Like,
Thank God.
100%. Yeah, nailed it.
I'm ready for the hot toys. I'm ready for the mezco. I'm ready for all that. I want more because she's just so badass, man. I think we've talked about it.
She's just like ruthless. Like, she's so good at being ruthless.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, hit me harder, please. Thank you.
I love how they definitely go all out to make her look like Waller, but then like when she's normally by her, like how she looks so much better. Like, they really kind of they really make her look like a shrewd bitch on purpose, and she goes for it.
Gramps is like in Waller We Trust.
The
Something we haven't touched on is they're pulling real heavy from because they mentioned as Superman Legacy they've been talking about how they're going to use what is it, Morrison's Superman story? What was that one called again? Man of Tomorrow? What was it? No, that's Jeff Johns. What was Morrison's Superman that he did?
God. I picture the cover right in front of my face.
Yeah, it's got. Was it Quietly that did the art?
Yeah, Frank Quietly.
Yeah, it's great. That was a great fucking story. But so they're pulling from that, and then they're basically saying they're going to use his Batman for Damian.
Yeah.
Right, and Brave and the Bold. That's
like I think that's All Star Superman you're talking.
There you go. All Star
Yes,
Superman.
thank you.
Yes, like that was something when they mentioned they're going to use Morrison's Batman and Morrison's Superman. I was like, fuck. Well, you got me on that. Like I'm listening to that. Like and then another thing too is like what I loved about the armory scene, going back to Flash, it kind of reminded me of wow, like that Batman armory is going to fold in every iteration of Batman as if he did all those things just the way that Morrison did, and I was like, that's why this Batman, Brave and the Bold Batman, I'm fucking way more interested than I thought I would be because they're doing that. Intrigued about it. You know, the Authority is also going to be.
That's what I was like. Oh, can't wait to talk about that.
Did they say that they were going to use Superman to bridge that as well?
Because he was in the Authority at one point, wasn't he?
So yeah, I couldn't remember if they said they're going to use him in
but
that.
But it was that bootleg Morrison Superman from the New 52.
Yeah, the New 52 one, but that. Brian Hitch, the co-creator of that series, was going off on Twitter saying like it's news to him that they're using that stuff on it, and he really wishes that he would have known and all that. But you know how it is with the movies, like it's unfortunate that they don't really include the comic stuff, and it's an honor, and sometimes it's cool if they do, but it's not always the case.
Sorry to hear that, Brian.
Anything
fucking
surprising?
Midnighter and Apollo on the fucking screen.
And that was massive in the comics. Remember that? Like how that was kind of like
I see what you did there.
No, but like that was a real like I feel like a lot of underground that had a big underground push. Like a lot of people love that. There's like all these like fucking fan pages for that, you know, and it's it's something that's really popular on its own. Anything from this slate like really interest you guys? Like, oh my god, like okay, they're doing that.
Yeah, Damian.
Like I can't wait to see him on the fucking screen and be like, "Yo, you're this little prick that we've been reading about all these years."
You read? Name 10 books.
Yeah,
I know he's. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rob.
No, you're good, man.
I was just gonna say I know he's gonna be like Middle Eastern or something. It's gonna be some controversy.
They're sticking to the books. They're sticking to the comics. Hey, it'll be a controversy for the people that don't read comics.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah. Because I hope they make them like Middle Eastern or something.
That'd be
like
perfect.
Persian. You know.
Because in the comics, like he looks Caucasian at his first appearance, whatever. But gradually throughout the years, and even recent DC projects, like there's this one DC Batmobile show. It's for kids, little kids, and it's cars and whatever. And Damien is sort of, I don't know if he's black, but he's kind of dark. He's on the darkest, side. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I think that's what they're gonna go with that. But I mean, it makes sense in terms of the story. Like,
I mean, that's who he is, right?
Yeah.
We need a like a Lebanese. Or like a Armenian or Palestinian Damian Wayne. Like we got to get the representation.
Well, remember, before Damian appeared as Damian, remember he showed up in, I think it was Son of the Demon.
Yes.
And like it was sort of like a precursor to Damian's existence. He was in that as Ibn al-Zufash.
Mm-hmm. Was that when Talia took Bruce without consent?
Yes.
That was that, right? What did she give him? Didn't she drug him?
She drugged him.
We're going there, guys. I'm sorry. We're going there.
Well, that was
Cardi B.
No, that was the retcon that she drugged him in the book.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I remember that whole controversy. That was I was about to say that was awesome. That was not awesome. Consent is awesome. Always get consent.
Hey, Bruce was asking for it, okay?
Oh God.
CYA.
He wouldn't have done so. He wouldn't have gotten that. He wouldn't have worked in the gym with that for that broad chest if he didn't want it.
But all I want, whatever they do for live action Damien, I want him to be like, don't give me like, 16-year-old Damien. I want him to be a fucking kid.
Yeah.
And I want him to be an evil prick like he was when he first came in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Bad Santa when I think it's Bad Santa when they're showing Bernie Mac and he's in like a record store? Fucking throwback, dude. He's in a record store as a security guard and he sees this little kid. He sees a little kid who's shoplifting, and at first you can't tell the kid's shoplifting. He's just in there, and Bernie Mac's like, "How you doing, man? You doing good? Yeah, you having a good time? You looking at some music?" And then he starts to shake him down, and the little kid has all these CDs in him. That little kid was like in the first season of Punk'd, and he's all grown up now, of course, but he was a little fucking shit in every movie and in every show that he was in. That's the kind of kid that you need. You need a little fucking shithead, like the opposite of Macaulay Culkin. Like not cute, not necessarily like a little fucking shithead that wins you over somehow, You feel bad because he kills the birds and he hides them in the box under his bed, But
I think we have
guys,
a guest backstage.
I think we got him on. He's on.
Oh,
Trunks eats bleep. Trunks eats bleep.
Hey, old folks.
holy shit! Fresh
There he
from
is.
the Jericho Cruise.
Hey, just got back from the cruise, and boy, is my tongue tired there, blokes.
Oh my goodness.
I would like to point out that I predicted this happening before we started.
That's absolutely 100% did.
Oh, oh, Robin there.
Trunks, can we get your hype level from the before the Flash trailer and now after you've seen it? What is the hype level for the Flash?
Well, bloke, for a while I didn't think it was going to happen because this here a pedophile was kidnapping chipmunks in Hawaii and God knows what else. So I thought they were going to shit can Keaton like they did that Batgirl movie. Thank God, by the way. But so I didn't pay it much mind. But then it comes on the old YouTubes there, and holy shit, I see the goat back, and man, he didn't miss a beat, folks. He didn't miss a beat. We're waiting for these. Todd McFarlane on line 2 gonna pump out 5 zillion fucking Keaton figures now, and old Trunky got a new trunk for that. You better know. And
Trunks, can we get your reaction to the Michael Keaton armory real quick?
Oh, the army. Let me tell you, that would go good in the trunk right there if they ever made a replica of that one there, bloke. But it had a lot of space in it, widely epic. And the suits, the Batmobile, the fucking original Batwing, oh good golly. It's gonna be I'm gonna get my ticket stub, that's for sure.
It's kind of crazy that as ridiculous and embellished as that is, it's pretty fucking spot on. Oh man! All right, going back to the DCU. Where did my God damn it? I drank too much. Jeez, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to that photo right here. Trunks. We're talking about the new DC Universe slate of films. Anything in here tickle your puckered starfish by any chance? More so than something else that you see here?
No.
That's a show, folks.
Except for Swamp Thing.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Swamp Thing at all.
Come on, Trunks.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing would be good if the supernatural effects are on point. But I don't know. Can you blokes think that these characters can hold their own titles, their own movies? I mean, Waller. Oh man, what do you? What's the consensus here, blokes? Is it hype? Do you think they're getting a little obscure with it, or are these big chances?
We were saying that Waller might be the most consistent thing they have, and the thing that makes the most sense. We haven't really talked about Lanterns. We haven't talked about Booster Gold. The only thing we talked about was Superman, Brave and the Bold, and the Authority. But Swamp Thing, guys, what do you think?
Bring it on.
Okay, that's
to make it a horror flick, I'm fucking excited as shit, dude. Like, it's perfect. It's like DC. When you think about DC, you think about the villains. You think about some of like background stories and stuff. It's all horror. Horror.
Oh,
you know I like them.
Hoors.
But yeah, so it's like I'm excited for Swamp Thing. I hope we could fast forward and just watch all this and watch Swamp Thing. But it looks like a 3-year project. So
I hope it's kind of like that Swamp Thing Green Hell.
Ooh, issue 2 out now. Go grab it. Douglas Dew on the art.
Issue 2, that's it?
Yeah, dude, it took a while, but it's out. Robin, for the casuals like myself, Robin is a bevy of comics knowledge. Robin, Creature Commandos, are you familiar? Can you fill in some of the casuals on that one?
So Creature Commandos is I want to say like 1980.
Ooh.
So yeah, I want to bring it up. So yeah, they began in Weird War Tales in right at the end of 1980. That was JMD Matthias, and I feel like James Gunn chose this. This is kind of James's thing. Like, we saw it for the second time when he put together his Suicide Squad movie, and it was very much why he went for Guardians of the Galaxy. It's that kind of a team of characters that the vast majority of viewers are not going to know. So it's going to be introducing this whole team of people that most moviegoers are not going to know anything about.
Do you think we can get a Man-Bat in this?
Well, that would be a really cool idea, to put together more of a contemporary squad, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
people
feel like
that aren't going to show up in other movies, might not fit into other things, but could fit into this, where the point is that they are what they are.
That was the one theory that I have, was why they're doing this. Because you can do
the monsters,
but then you can bring in a Man-Bat.
Oh man, that would be so fucking sick. Like, that's something that I feel like we've all said at some point that we want to kind of see, and it's hard to get that when they're making the Jokers, they're making the Batman, and they're keeping it street level and not doing any of the what do you call it, the supernatural stuff. So these things
when you're keeping things kind of realistic, and it's tough to do a giant bat
monster
guy.
This is going to be live action.
I believe that everything they announced is live action.
Pretty cool.
Let's hope something
Gotham, right?
What was that, Grumps?
Let's hope that, once we get to the point of Swamp Thing, maybe that opens up to new opportunities like Justice League Dark, or can you imagine they see this untapped resource, they see this whole horror realm and they start doing that shit. Like, that's a whole other universe that they can jump into.
Yeah,
for 3 to 4 years, no problem.
That's what I'm interested in, that stuff, the monster stuff, the creature stuff, the actual, the stuff that they did with the Batman, with the special effects and the practical effects and the practical makeup. Like, imagine them doing that stuff with some of the other things, that would be fucking amazing. Paradise Lost.
Creature Commandos is I was just reading up. Creature Commandos looks like that's the animated one.
There it is. There you go, Gramps. You were absolutely correct.
Thank you.
There you go. Thanks, Gramps.
But that's unrelated to Batman's world. That's not going to feature Man-Bat or anything.
Whatever. Paradise Lost, if I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw that they were trying to make it like a Themyscira Game of Thrones show.
Yeah, that was definitely what I read too.
That sounds pretty cool. Other people think it's stupid because the last season of Game of Thrones sucked, but take it with a grain of salt. Lanterns. People have been asking for Green Lantern for the longest time. Interesting that Jeff Johns had such a hand in the creation of like the film stuff, and he was so big with the Green Lantern, and that was kind of kept away, and it was more the New 52, adding Cyborg and leaving Green Lantern out of the Justice League, finally getting his due. That'd be interesting to see. Both, and that's they're going to feature very heavily Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, but that's not to say that they can't include some of the other ones like Kyle Rayner. What's the asshole with the bowl cut?
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner. Yeah, they could be like supporting characters in there. They're making a series.
Bring in Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz, and they're all kinds of
Jessica Cruz. Oh my God, Christina Wren, please. Booster Gold. Do you guys remember what they said about that one? They basically talked about he's a time traveling asshole who stumbles upon. He like steals the powers. Very similar to the actual Booster Gold. Like trying to use being a superhero as a celebrity status, right?
Yeah. Like a Quantum Leap, but with less inappropriate language.
There you go. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Did you guys read this? This was really recent.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Booster Gold.
Whoa.
Booster Gold. Go back. We're going back.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I think that works perfect in this current social media age. I mean, I think that guy is perfect for this.
Trying to like go viral.
Kardashian like superhero type guy.
Trying to.
Is the Blue Beetle movie still happening? Or?
Good fucking question, dude.
That's true.
Yeah.
Good question.
Or do they just fold him into Booster?
Huh.
Yeah, I haven't seen any mention of that since any of this. So
there's
do we assume that got
from Cobra Kai?
What's that? The kid?
Yeah, the kid from Cobra Kai.
I wish they used his mom in that movie.
His name, guy who plays Big L.
I think that they mentioned that Aquaman 2 was going to lead into something, and then Booster Gold was going to lead into this, and they all kind of made it sound like those movies are going to launch this chapter 1 stuff. Which
yeah, from what it sounds like, there's no. Gal Gadot made a really weird post about like she's excited for the future of Wonder Woman, but they basically canceled Wonder Woman 3, so it's like that's up in the air. Aquaman 2 still coming out, so technically Aquaman hasn't been fired, so he's still Aquaman. Gal Gadot hasn't been officially fired, so she's still Wonder Woman. And yes, you're right, Gramps. Sorry about that. That in a weird way, there's still like the Justice League out there, So,
so Aquaman is the last of the Snyderverse, officially, right?
Because there's no Wonder Woman, there's Aquaman 2, and then there's Flash. I think so. Yeah. After that, Snyderverse is kaput, and it's funny because that was also in the news recently where James Gunn tweeted out. Someone was saying something about like, why wasn't Zack consulted? Why wasn't he contacted? And James said like, Zack Snyder actually reached out to me to tell me that this new DCU sounds cool. He also told me that he hasn't had any interest in doing anything. He's wrapped up with Rebel Moon, which leads me to believe that James Gunn is a liar. He's lying. He's putting things in people's. He's speaking for people, which he shouldn't do.
Son of a gun.
You know what I mean? Another reason why you want to flame the fire to the Toxic Snyder Bros. Anyways, Supergirl, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Have any of you guys read this? Have any of you guys been following the Tom King series?
No.
Somebody cooking.
And their dog's barking. They're cooking and they're not feeding their dogs.
That sounds like the Trunkler.
Earlier, someone was killing it and dragging a dead body across the back. So. But
silence them.
Guys, let's go around the round table real quick. Robin, this slate of DCU, what is your hype level for it? Robin's okay. We'll come back to Robin. Dunk.
Hold on.
This.
There we go.
There you go. Robin, this slate of DCU.
I didn't realize I was had myself still muted.
On the hot seat.
Yeah. So that I don't think I can say yet. I need to see how it begins first, and I need to know because it's kind of a mess that Aquaman is still coming. Where
That's what she said.
Yep. Yeah, she did. Whereas this Flash movie is supposed to reset everything, but it isn't really because we still have a Flash movie, an Aquaman movie coming. So I need to know that we're getting a clean break and this actually is a new thing starting, because that's going to affect a lot of it. Like, are we still going to have lingering things bleeding over into this new set, or is it actually the clean break that they've talked about it being, which is why they got rid of Henry and Ben's gone? And because if they aren't, then if they're just still starting with remnants, then that's a waste to some degree.
So I would agree.
Closure.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you're going to toss out the burly, like stimulating, handsome, barrel-chested Henry Cavill, you better throw the rest of the fucking pie out with it, because I don't even know if that's a saying. But yeah, can you imagine like not wanting to use Henry Cavill in your plans?
Yes.
I get, when you look at the timeline and you see how old he is, I guess, but ageism, Grumps, I'm going to call the police on you for that.
I can completely imagine that.
So, anyways,
because
that makes
he's not
sense.
a good actor.
I'm kind of right there with you, Robin. Dunk, your
He looks
hype
like
level.
Superman, but he's not a good actor.
Stop it.
It had to be said. It had to be said. We were all thinking it.
You're not a good actor.
Which is why they got him fired from Witcher, but that's another story.
How dare you? He chose Superman.
Yeah, he left Witcher because they weren't sticking to the source material.
I will not have this narrative.
Black Adam.
Just because he had a fake lip.
Dunk, your hype level for this slate of the DCU.
I agree with everything that Robin said. So much, everything looks good on paper right now. But until they start the projects, until we actually see some trailers or like some people getting casted, hype level will go up or down from there. I think a brilliant idea of Ryan Reynolds as a cameo in Lanterns. That would be fucking amazing. But that's just, 2-3 years away. That's not gonna
I hope that never happens.
Well, he can just talk so much shit. I think that'd be great, but it's definitely not going to happen. I just want more Batman, so that's where I stand.
Speaking of which, it's kind of like getting Keaton back is kind of like getting what's his name, Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. You never thought it would happen because he said he wouldn't. Now he's back. But anyways, yeah, good points. Grumps, hype level for this DCU.
I think I'm like everybody else. I mean, my hype level rests on Damian Wayne and Batman.
Very nice.
And then if it even touches on some of the Morrison stories or whatever, which is the way they made it sound, or what I thought is Batman and Robin are going to be at odds in this movie.
Batman versus Robin.
Kind of, sort of, whatever. So, I don't know. I can't really put a number on it. I can't put a number on it. I don't know.
You're still waiting. You're still marinating.
Yeah, I mean, the TV stuff sounds interesting, but we got a long time for I turned 50 in 2024, so I mean, shit, man.
I mean, we're all assuming obviously this is all just going to be laid out on HBO Max, right? So just
it might not even be HBO Max by the time this stuff starts coming out, right? And
yeah,
are they going to change the name or something?
We had a DC streaming service that we all forgot about.
Briefly, we had it. Yeah.
It's like 13 months.
You know what? And it's because you forgot about it that they got rid of it, okay? And anyway.
Well, they were grooming me. That's why.
Shout out to our buddy Sammy Wormhands, the Bat Fanatic podcast. He made a very good point with that slate. He said, "Yeah, this is all cool on paper, but how many times have they told us they were going to give us something, and more than half of it never comes to fruition?" So he was like, I'm waiting to see if this shit's even real." So, good point. Tease us your hype level as far as that slate.
It's kind of like simmering to me. again, like ever since the Batman movie, it's just been nothing but stop and go. So it's promising. I like that they're bringing these kind of they're dipping into the library to kind of tell new stories. And as a horror fan, I'm definitely hyped for Swamp Thing, but I want to see what they could do with that. Again, like I don't know. I feel like right out the gate, we're kind of we're prepped to kind of like dislike James Gunn. So
groomed to dislike.
Groomed. But let's see. Like, yeah, obviously, I feel like it's an agenda base where they want to bring him in to kind of have that same success as Marvel and
liberal agenda. Yeah,
I think that's proven. I think that's proven that
woke
DC,
agenda.
I think that's proven. When they try to replicate the same success as Marvel, I think when they bring that into the DC language, it never really makes sense to me. So, or to it doesn't convert. So to me, it's just going to be stop and go. But hopefully, that's not the case, and they start kind of rebuilding. So, I'm not crazy hyped. I think I'd like to see this Flash movie first, and then see if it kind of sparks some inspiration for the next wave. But let's see what happens. Just like everyone said before, it looks great as a phase 1, but to me, that's not. To me, it's not a strong curation for like a phase 1. If you want to really bring into these new fans, I think it's still a little cloudy. But Superman might be cool. We haven't seen a Superman movie in 15 years, almost at this point. So we need something.
I think Jesus has a good point. I think you have a good point, Jesus. It's not a strong.
Yeah, like if you want to really have this mass appeal, like James Gunn has had this success, right? Bringing Guardians of the Galaxy, you kind of need the big three to kind of like be spaced out a bit, and it's just not there for me.
Well,
and especially like if there's like this multiverse opportunity, like what are they going to do with Superman? Like to me, like if you think multiverse, you think of like the run of the '90s post Death of Superman, where you start bringing in these other Supermen.
Superman.
That's how you do that shit. You know what I mean? Like that's how I would do it.
But okay? I think you had a good point, Jesus.
And then he just destroyed.
That's fine.
Yeah, because all right, it's not. It doesn't look like a strong lineup. Like in the previous regime, you left Darkseid on the bench. And you could totally, if you even recast, Superman and Wonder Woman or whatever, Aquaman or Lobo or whatever, you could use Darkseid if you wanted to copy that Marvel formula, which is like that's what they want to do. I mean,
that's what this looks like to me.
They want their own Kevin Feige or whatever. So. Man, you have this, Darkseid sitting on the bench,
like big baddie.
And now you're here playing with Creature Commandos and this one and that one.
Well, but who's to say that maybe that's not what they're cooking up in the back? You never know,
But that would be, what does it say here? The second chapter, right? Like
phase 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't even ever get to get past these aliens, like.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna get to chapter 2.
Yeah, it's fun.
Sleepy Joe is shooting them down left and right.
I love how that's in the narrative now. Like I made a joke about it. This is my renaissance right now. We got Keaton trending, we got UFOs and aliens trending. Welcome everybody. This is like I feel like everyone is finally like everyone is on the same page. But to everyone's point, I really want to see what they do with Swamp Thing. I am anything
that's
you guys
a slam dunk though. I think that's easy.
Swamp Thing.
I think so.
That's the layup.
I really like. He's gonna be separate from all the superhero bullshit. So that's
nice.
I mean, you could tie it in, right? You could do a little tie-in, but largely he's gonna be separate from all that, the costumes and whatever. So for me, that's a slam dunk.
I'm excited for a big horror movie. I think it's very bold. They're doing a big horror movie, and so I didn't think they would ever do that. Kids stuff. So it's cool they're doing horrors and stuff like that. Aside from
why is that horror though? What makes
Oh,
Swampy
horror. Oh, horror. Oh, I was
horror, not
okay.
sex worker horror.
Okay. You know what I mean? Swampy, bro. It's like the thing I'm thinking of Swampy right now. When I think of Swampy, I'm thinking they're gonna do something that is probably like giving a nod to the co-creator Bernie, but
Bernie
also doing something like modern with it. That think of all the horror. Think of all the horror movies and the horror shows right now that are killing it. Like,
But he's
I
a
feel
good guy. That's what I'm asking. Like, what
yeah,
makes it
but
horror?
his world could be
He's
like
a
that.
ghost.
His world could be. Oh my god! Imagine Dead Man, like fucking showing up
Dude,
in his movie.
that's what I'm talking about.
But is he really a good guy? I've never really.
Thank you.
I've never really seen him as a good guy. He's
Let's
just
play
kind
with
of
that.
a protector of
The green.
the green, and he'll take a motherfucker out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I want to see Morris. I want to see what they do with Morrison. Like, if they lean heavy into Morrison, that'd be so sick. Damien, I'm psyched on that. I'm psyched on Morrison Batman. I'm psyched on Morrison Superman. But you know what? I'll be honest, guys. What I'm really psyched about, I want to see them do Tom Taylor Superman. I want them to do like a gay twink Superman, so it fucking makes people go nuts and mad and angry. And I would love that, just to make people mad, like the meme of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be down for that. That's okay with me. So like a handsome gay Superman, I'm kind of about that. Let's see if they do that. Probably lost half our audience, but that's okay. Trunkler. When you look at the slate, Trunkler, what do you think? And he's on mute right now. I don't know if he knows that. I'm gonna unmute him. I don't think I can unmute him. He has to unmute himself. Trunkler's dead, ladies and gentlemen. We lost him. He's dead. He's
Moment of
absolutely
silence.
yeah. But let's see. All right. Everyone
What
do
about
one
The
line.
Rock? Did we ever talk about that? The Rock, Black Adam. Did he kill
Oh,
DCU?
that was sad. The Rock bottomed himself and got canceled from the DCU because James Gunn said they're going to pass on. Oh my God, guys, we completely forgot Shazam. Shazam Part 2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Shazam Part 2 is still out there floating around.
Right around the corner.
And he's Snyder.
That's what, next month?
Snyderverse.
Yeah.
Is it?
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to that.
So Shazam Part 2 comes before Aquaman, because Aquaman, have they finished filming yet? Shazam 2 is done. That would be interesting. That's interesting to think about and see. But yeah, Black Adam, Rock bottom, dude, like, I don't think has The Rock failed yet at anything he's kind of done. I don't think so. This is the first time you see like him take an L like that. James Gunn's just like, no, we're not going to do any more Black Adam. So
I think with that stuff, it sucks because like the biggest L is, it's going to be on HBO Max if you wait long enough, right? And like my cheap ass was like, I'm paying $14.99 a month for this. I'm going to wait instead of watching it the first week. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm paying for it.
Isn't it on there though?
Yeah.
It is.
It was on there like 3 weeks after.
Yeah.
They're turds because they take stuff off. It's like, dude, really?
They delete shit. Like, they don't just take it off.
Yeah.
They delete it from the archive, so it's gone.
Yeah,
It's
I just bought the
wild.
Blu-ray.
That's wild.
Disney Plus, they leave
We said we'd keep it to an hour. We've gone off the rails for an extra 30 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, that's The Flash DCU wrap-up. Guys, this is a fucking Monday night. Might be the night. I can't remember the last time we got so many of us on the same episode. Anyways, we've been talking about it. We're gonna do it. We got to sit down. We got to do some. Speaking of, what a perfect timing! Superman Legacy, Brave and the Bold. Talking about Morrison. We've been talking about jumping on Morrison. We want to do. What's the next one that Gramps? You said Morrison's Gothic. Where he did backup stories in the was it Goth? What was that fucking run that he did? Legends of
the Darkness.
Yeah, Legends. He did the run on the Legends.
Not
so that's
Batfleck Legends.
Technically his first Batman stuff. So we've been saying we want to get into Morrison heavy. We're gonna try to do that. I think it sounds like Mondays might be the night to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, Batforce Radio. Thank you everyone. Thank you the Trunkler for coming on. Happy Valentine's Day. Seacrest out.